Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, Natalia.
I think it's time to go to visit Transnistria.
It's time to go there, yes. Finally we get there. And we get to go there in this really beautiful taxi that has been decorated completely with traditional upholstery.
Yes.
Handsome work here. Handmade, I'm sure. Special for this taxi. All right, well, we're now in the center of the capital of Transnistria, whose name is
Tiraspol.
Tiraspol. I keep wanting to say tiramisu.
Tiraspol.
Anyway, Tiraspol. Okay, so we're in the middle of Tiraspol and learning a little bit about the history. When this country, I'll put that in quotes, broke away from Moldova, there was about a one-year war in the early 90s in which not a lot of things were destroyed, but in the end, the constitution of Moldova had to be rewritten to allow this part of Moldova to be its own self-governing area. They have their own currency, they have their own government, they have their own elected officials, and they even have their own passports, even though those passports are only recognized in Moldova, South Ossetia, and let's see, Nagorno-Karabakh, or one of those other breakaway places. So this is sort of an almost country. And maybe they'd like to be a country, but they don't really have enough resources to become one. But they're still functioning, and it feels very Russian here. Everyone speaks Russian. They have their prices sort of regulated as they feel as if they're in Russia. It's extremely clean, and everything's written in Cyrillic, which makes it hard for me to read. But anyway, here we are in what feels like a little piece of Russia in an odd way.
It's very, very weird to put a church with a tank.
Yeah.
A tank with a church is like very weird combination.
Yeah.
Yes. And you can go even by boat if you want to have a ride on the Dnistru. And the boat is going like this. There. And you have a beach, and you can lie on the beach, go.
Scepter and I don't know what. Okay, we're right in the middle of the town, and here's a statue of Catherine the Great. This is not an old statue. This was only erected about a year ago, not long after Russia invaded Ukraine. What's the significance of Catherine the Great? She is the great Russian leader who united a lot of Russia into its empire. So it sort of suggests some empire building is going on here in terms of this effort to establish a Catherine the Great symbolism here in Tiraspol. Go figure.
What about this?
Well, here we are in the middle of town.
Cheers. На здоровье. На здоровье.
Nazdrovia. 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 All right, Nazdrovia.
So now you... I was watching some Spain. The Queen. Adorn. So what about this, Nick?
I feel like I'm in Russia. I've got borscht, I've got vodka, I've got all the trimmings. It just feels totally Russia. After all, the name of this restaurant is the new USSR. And the password to the Wi-Fi is back in the USSR.
Okay, we arrived at the museum, Battle Museum. Bună ziua! Здравствуйте! So, Nick, this is the terrace, and we are going to visit the museum. There is a garden, and there is this building. Yes,
And the hotel.
the hotel, the museum, the garden.
Nice, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Делаем и сами продаем. Двухместный, трехместный, четырехместный и пятиместный.
Відомо при 3, 4, 5, ага, то сканери. 4 етажа.
Да, 4 и внизу ресторан. Да.
Yes, and every floor has own design,
Wow. Okay. This really is a bubble.
and you have a lot of countries.
Everything's represented here.
Yes,
There's some interesting looking bottles.
yes. With this one, I can travel around the world for 1 month.
That's right.
This bottle, 1,000.
One special, you know?
Yes,
With a gold leaf.
yes. 5 liters, I think.
25 liters.
25 liters.
Wow. In the original container
Yes,
with a corn cob.
on top.
Okay, that's pretty original.
А вот эта бутылка сделана специально к событию, когда был чемпионат мира в Америке по футболу в 94 году. Тут 12 литров
В Америке?
с вином, да. Таких... на посту стоять.
Police
Police.
stick.
Police stick. Uh-huh.
You want a police stick?
Yeah, well, the police don't have to...
Выпил их дрова. Тамбовский волк, мех с него.
Ah, wow, this one wolf. The wolf.
С Азербайджана. Пердомер.
Ah, I don't know if I can film everything because there's 6 floors of alcohol. How many bottles in total?
10
Д- Сколько?
тысяч.
10,000 bottles of alcohol here.
10,000?
And
Yeah,
all are different, yeah.
Yes,
Now, I have a question.
yes.
In America, we have a whiskey that comes in a bottle that looks like Elvis Presley.
Elvis
that
Presley
bottle
bottle.
Ну, у нас нет.
Нет.
If I had one with me, I would give it to you.
Нормально, спасибо. У нас как раз...
Кто хочет попробовать?
1896. All right, let's present it.
И вот еще одна. У нас трехгорная. Наша особо здесь в районе, когда старый дом ломали. Недалеко. Слушай, а что $100 за бутылку? Мало чисто Александр.
Statue, yeah, there's the Statue of Liberty. Yeah.
Ну это, видите, это с Франции приехали. Ну так там сделано.
Yes, yes.
Вечером подумал, так This is the American statue.
Часах тоже виски в водопорной башне, в вагоне, в собаке.
Which one you don't know?
Редкий экземпляр Джека Дэниелса.
A lot of these I don't know.
Полинка, есть полинка голова.
У тебя остаточный противогулец?
Ну и курс относительно 90 градусов не спиртает. 96 градусов. Можете подождать, что это за
Wow. Glad you protected against earthquake.
Chiar o să vede că e răcoare, că sunt de mare.
Nu, pe acolo sunt 50 de grade și ei cu 40.
Nu, aici 4. A, 30. Era 40. Este vreo legendă.
So you know this one is real wolf.
Real what?
Real wolf.
Yeah, real wolf.
Yes.
Ooh.
Te scrie foarte. Для чего тут удочка люди спрашивают?
Это когда папа проводил экскурсию, он удочкой показывал.
Rapid București.
Ляпис Трубецкой был.
Și oaspeți care au fost am lăsat.
Маски шоу удивились в Одессе. Газман. Григорий, в эти кризисные дни я понял, что политическое убежище след просекет.
Aquatir. So where we are, Nick?
Wow. All right. We're in Transnistria, and we're at a beluga caviar factory, which is really a fish farm with 65,000 sturgeons of 4 different species, producing lots and lots of really nice caviar, which I'm about to have as a taste. And we've learned all about the process, the 5 stages that a female goes through from birth to its hibernation state before it lays the eggs. And there's wonderful facilities here for creating these reproducing fish farms. Very interesting. Learned all about it.
Yes, and look at this like complexes like this.
Yeah.
And we saw the real fish coming out from the water, with the people show us. And I found out that I don't see here, but there is golden caviar. Have you ever heard about this?
I've never heard of it before, but the golden is really caviar without pigment, and it's produced by albino sturgeons.
Yes,
And
albino.
there are a few albino sturgeons that are in the pools here. Interesting thing about the albinos is that they have no eyesight. They do not see.
Wow.
The albinos don't see. And so, yes, they have both males and female albinos, so they can produce golden caviar, which is 100 times more
It's
expensive.
$10,000 for 1 kilo.
That's right, so it's 100 times more expensive than regular caviar. I don't know if it tastes any different, and I'll probably never have enough money to find out.
Yes. Actually, I have an idea. Let's taste caviar.
Let's go taste some caviar. All right. Here we are in the town of Bender, which is still part of Transnistria, and it's the Tigianov Fortress. This thing dates back to about the 10th century. It's another one of these important locations on the Dniester River, which was the access point for commerce into Central Europe. And it's basically been one of these places that got conquered over and over again, mostly by the Turks and by the Russians, and occasionally invading other forces. It now seems to belong to Transnistria, although you read these signs along the way, it seems to really belong to Russia, because I think Russia built this park. Anyway, so there's a lot of information here about this castle, which is contradictory to some of the other history that I've been learning, but very interesting to see that this castle is sort of still in conflict as to who owns it. There we are. Everything from the Prit River to Crimea would belong to Russia. And very pretty.
You like it?
Very pretty, yeah.
But there is so many people there swimming.
Yeah, big crowd. Well, you don't blame them. It's a hot day. And yeah, if I had a couple of kids, I'd take them swimming. Great place to go swimming. Take the kids, throw them in the water, make them learn to swim.